Hi everyone, so it is that time again for Spellbinders monthly club kits to be released, which is the first of the month. So these are the ones for May of 2025, if you can believe it already, just flying by. What I normally do is a whole unboxing of everything, and I receive samples. As you can see, they look like this, so they were sent free of charge for my review, and of course, all opinions are my own. And the links on in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase times to those links for the US site and the UK site that Spellbinders has there. So, generally, I just jump right in. I'll go through each and every one. I do have the Deluxe Caboodle here, which is every club kit, but of course now you have that, and you can also pick up your club kits just individually. And I always show the bonus item for the Deluxe Caboodle. Sometimes there's a couple of them, and I'm not aware of that, and then I come back and tell you guys, oh, hey, you know, this also was supposed to go along with it. So this month I do know of this cute die set. I will say one of the sets, the large die of the month, has an add-on. And I believe that's a separate purchase because I don't have it here to show you guys. And the way it looks like in what I'm looking at, you know, with Spellbinders, it looks like it's an add-on, something you can go ahead and add to your shipment or pick it up separately for the large die of the month. And we'll talk about that when we get there. So super cute sets this month. I usually start off with the stencil and then we move from there. And I usually work with some of the items today because this does take a little while to do the unboxing. I do some kind of quick card at the end. And then I'll follow up on the 5th or the 6th whenever they release the club to be signed up for people who are new or who want to add a new one. Or, well, not that shouldn't say you want to add a new one. Because if you're already a club member, you can make changes right now on the 1st. But if you want to sign up, usually late on the 5th, but generally on the 6th. And then there's a blackout period at the end of the month. And if you are a current club member, you do get 10% off your purchases on Spellbinders as soon as you log in. 10% is already reflected in the price that you see. So that's always really good. So again, I like to start off with the stencil of the month. And I know you can't see too much right now, but everything, well, not everything, but a lot of it is very school, books, cute things like that. I don't know if you can see already with like the pencils and the little crayons. Super cute. So again, my samples are very much samples. So yours will be packaged with beautiful carriers, with the inspo, instruction, whatever is needed for that set. So with this one, the stencil of the month, a lot of times it'll be, you know, 3, 4, 5 stencil layers or whatever it is for that month. And sometimes there's a couple different designs in it, or it's just one set that's going to work to make one design. This month there are 2 different designs in here. So one's very simple. It's this one here. And it looks really awesome. It's kind of like an optical illusion kind of thing because of the circles, the way they are so big here, and then they kind of stretch out. It looks like the paper is rounded, you know? So kind of cool. But these guys, number 1, 2... Actually, 2 is up in the corner. So 1's down here, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know if you can see the etching there. To make little pencils. So you have like the eraser portion. You have like the wood portion. You have the body there of the pencil. And then the little accents, which I would just do in black, you know, with the little lines. And then the tip of the lead. And so hopefully you can kind of see, looking through it, what that would look like. And they are adorable. These are definitely for A2 size cards. So 5.5 by 4.25 sizing on that. Cute. So then we have the embossing folders. I usually show you the embossing folder, the standard embossing folder of the month. It is called, the stencil is called Right On, I should say. This one's called Abstract Study. So very interesting. Just a lot of lines, you know, again, it's abstract. So it's like, I can't see if like these go together or if it came this way or however. So it's pretty cool. Very interesting and abstract. These are a larger folder. Of course, I mention that every time, just in case, I don't know where you are on your crafting journey. Maybe you're new and you're just looking into it. So this folder is 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. It'll emboss an area of 5.5 by 8.5. So just know that for your machine, that this can fit into your machine, right? A nice big folder. The 3D embossing folder of the month is the Stacked Stories. Same sizing. It is thicker than a standard embossing folder, okay? So you're definitely going to want a machine that can accommodate that. With your Spellbinders Platinum 6, you can do the A plate, this with your paper, and then the adapter plate, okay? And then whatever you need to do for whatever other system you might have. So pretty. That's all the book spines there. Really, really cute. Beautiful. And the difference between a 3D embossing folder and your standard embossing folder is that the 3D embossing folder is kind of carved, so there's definitely ups and downs and rounded nature. I mean, even this is like going to be concave or popped out, should I say. It's not going to be concave. It's just going to be, so it's popped up here and then it kind of divots in there. I don't know if you can see that. So it just has a lot of different texture and heights, you know, where this guy goes up straight across and then back down. And that's how the design is made. And that's basically what embossing folders used to be originally were, right? And you can see it's just like up, across, down. And this one's just carved into really, really pretty. So they do give a different look for sure. So those are those. You have your clear stamp of the month. Let me show you what that looks like. It is super adorable, guys. Look at the little, oh my gosh. So when I was in Monterey, we got Miranda a little book about doing like little thumb projects. I haven't posted any of my Monterey videos, but anyway, and because that's part of it, I was watching her doing that. And so you do your little thumb and then you draw the little like characters like this around them or however, little animals. Super cute. That reminds me of this a lot. So you have the crayon. It is called Crayon Creations, and then you have your layers. So you would have the color of your crayon, the color of the wrapper. I would probably do this in black or a darker, let's say light blue, darker blue, and then this, however you want to color it, right, with the black accent. So you can layer that up, and then you can make it into like a little character, which is super cute. And then you have things like you're the boldest crayon in the box, to the best student, to the best teacher, yay. You're the brightest crayon I know. And then, so you can do the stamp. It's a photopolymer stamp. It's awesome. You can also do the stamp and clear or die of the month. It's called clear die of the month because it's for the clear stamp. And it looks like it cuts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 of the sentiments, which I love that. And then the different little characters with their different expressions and stuff, right? With the little hands holding, kind of cute, waving high and kind of jumping up. So you can do that with these guys. And then you also have just the crayon if you don't make it into a character, you know, and then the accent piece. So you have those pieces to cut that, which I think is very cute. The small die of the month, it is called Classroom Chronicles, and it is this portion right here. So it's like book spines, each different one, there's different sizes, you can see there, have different inlays. So the inlay on it says congrats, it says teacher, so you can make all these different sentiments, student, knowledge, wisdom, and study. And then you have the words to the, which is very cute. It's like in cursive. Best, so, you know, to the best teacher or however. The little apple. So you have our apple, and then you have all the accent pieces that go with him, his little graduation cap. I know there's a name for that. And I always want to say it's called like a mortar. I don't remember. Anyway, so there you go. Something funny like that. Let's say it's just over 1.5 inches. Wait, hold on. That seems, yeah, almost 1 inch and 3/4 between there. And it's just about the same in the width. So you have your little apple. He has little arms. Again, little graduation cap, or just maybe the stem and a leaf, or just a little leaf there. You have a pencil, which is super cute, the pieces to make a pencil there, and then his little glasses, which is super adorable. All right, this next one is very interesting, super different kind of design. It is the large die of the month. It's called Spell It Out Fridge. When I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like a little envelope or something because of the way it has this tab, but no, it's going to make like a little old school fridge. And then these pieces here are like shelves for the inside of the fridge. So if you can imagine, you're going to run this through twice, and you're going to have a tab, a glue tab, so it opens up like a shaped card. You're going to cut the glue tab off the other side, off of one of them, so it's just, but when you open it, if you want, on the inside, you can decorate it like a fridge. So it's super cute. You're going to, again, I don't have that here with me. I didn't write down what it was called either, but I think it's called like fridge add-ons or something like that. And it's going to be all kinds of cute, like little bottles and jars and things that you can put on these shelves. Actually, I should turn this the other way. That go inside the fridge, okay? But if you're not going to pick that up, you're just going to stick with what's here, then you're still going to have a very cute card, because what it is basically on the outside, it looks like a little fridge decorated. These are for like the handles for the fridge and the freezer, and then accents for your handle. But you have all kinds of things that look like little buttons, like little what's called magnets, basically. So you have like a little Polaroid, like a little picture maybe you're going to put up there, a little note, a little, you know, calendar, like whatever it is, all these little things that you would stick onto your fridge, which is very cute. And along with the little alphabet letters, and I still have them from when the kids were little, which is super cute. So that's what that is intended to be, okay? So very different. There's a little cup for like tea or coffee. There's a little apple. You have like a little plant, which I thought was very cute. At least that's how I see it. And then some accent pieces. Again, they look like magnets. So that is the large die of the month. The stitching die of the month is this guy here, and it makes a whole vignette, which is really sweet. So, I mean, I guess you could focus on just one thing if you didn't want to make a whole living room out of it. But the stitching die of the month is Stitched Study Nook. I guess it's a study nook. And so you have your couch, right? Or not your couch, but like the singular kind of lazy boy type chair there. And then you have like a little table, or maybe it's a side table, however you want to dress this up. You have your cat with his little tail, little accents for the cat. You have a potted plant, right? The pot here, and then the top. You have some extra pieces to kind of fill that in. You have a lamp that comes down from the top. So this, where is it? This piece, sorry. It's supposed to look like it's in the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like this rounded portion hanging down like that with the cute little fringe for your like old school lamp. So the inlay on this and the inlay on the couch are the stitching kind of dies. You have books with like stacks, and then of course like a little rug. However, or I think it's a rug. It could be a tabletop, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was a rug in my opinion. So however you want to use that guy. Oh, you know what? Sorry, back it up. Let me give you a measurement on this large die over here from Large Die of the Month. It is 5 3/4, basically deep. And metal to metal, just under 5 inches wide. Okay, 4 7/8, I would say. Sorry about that. Glimmer of the month. It is the scribbled note, and it's intended to come with satin pewter as the foil. But again, it does say colors may vary, but this is the one that is intended. A beautiful pewter, satin pewter color, which is really, really nice. And this is so cute. So I love what they did here, because you have this guy, so you have this large plate. I'll give you a measurement on that. It is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Again, just smaller than a A2 size. So you have the little pencils. It's super cute. Again, this one's called Scribbled Note. And then you can cut out these pencils with this die. So, I mean, you can cut out a whole bunch of them, right? If you wanted them to be separate or different colors, real cute. And then you can have them as little icons on your card. So you can have that whole background, or just cut them out also individually. And I just put that here, but it's basically for that. And then it comes with sentiments like congrats, thank you, hello, happy birthday, scribbled a note to say. And then you have those things. Super adorable. The Better Press of the month, which I haven't even looked at, is this one here. So it is from A to Z, and it looks like it has a bunch of script letters, right? And doesn't have like words or anything like that. It's just a bunch of letters. And I'll give you some measurement on that. I will say I do not have the wax seal quite yet, and a lot of times it happens because it comes out later. It's just under 4 1/2 by just under 5 3/4. If for some reason I receive it while I'm working on this, because it is morning and my mail comes in pretty early, I will show it to you again, but I do not have it right now. And then it has sentiments. So you complete my alphabet. Oh, that's cute. From A to Z, you inspire me. And then you have dies to cut that out. So this is one plate, and then this die will cut both of those sentiments at once, which is really cool. Awesome. And the bonus crayons. So if you are a Deluxe Caboodle member, you'll receive these guys. And it's so cute because they're really, they do their own thing. So let me show you. You have your little crayon. I'll give you a measure. He's saying little. When I say little, it's because it's cute, not because it's just like tiny. 2 3/8 by, I'm looking at the metal to metal, about 3/4. You have the little wrapper. You have a little face that you can inlay. You have a couple different faces, right? The little smiley face, a little open mouth kind of guy. You have the little accent. We're going to put that on there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not 100% sure what this one is, but again, a little accent piece in there. The little hands and legs, and like hands that might be waving and legs that might be jumping, you know? So just a lot of ways to use this little guy. It'll be very, very cute. So that is your bonus die set. I will say, people ask me, can you pick those up later? A lot of people have said, and I can't see it because I don't have a subscription, because of the, I receive them here, so I don't have a subscription. So my page, when I log into Spellbinders, doesn't look like yours. It looks like just anybody else who wasn't subscribed, right, to one of the clubs. But they say you can pick these up later, the little bonus dies or whatever else that they might have, stencils, but like a month or two later down the line, something like that. So hopefully that's the case, because I know a lot of people ask about them, and I was told that they wouldn't be available later, so that's what the info I passed along. But apparently they are offering them. Okay, guys, let me think about what I want to do. That's kind of a little quicker card, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'll probably use the stencil of the month and then one of the other pieces to get like a sentiment going. But I just have a piece of cardstock. It's already cut down 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to make an A2 size card base. I'm going to cut this lengthwise, well, the width 4 1/4 by 11, and then score it 5 1/2. That'll be my card base. And this is my all-time favorite paper trimmer scorer. I mean, I make boxes on this. Like, I love this trimmer. It's the Spellbinders one. Okay, and then we'll do our stenciling on this guy. This is nothing special, like I said. It's just in my stash, and it was already a piece of cardstock that's cut down to this size, but it's not like the heaviest weight cardstock. You know, just stenciling, it doesn't really matter that much. The weight of that. And then I'm going to do these guys, of course. So let me grab the colors, like I said, you know, like a pinkish color, that little kind of beautiful orangey kind of pencil, typical pencil barrel color, something like a tan color, and then black. I'll be right back. You know, the color that I think that I was really thinking about is the tan color for like the pencil, like a little wood. I suppose you can make them color pencils too. That'd be really cute. But anyway, I'm going to put that down. I'm going to do this old school. I mean, if you have your, you know, sticky mat that you like to stencil on, definitely bring that guy out. Again, my paper is the whole 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just using the little corner etches that are on the stencil to kind of know where to place these things. It starts off with the eraser, but of course you can do whatever you like. These are all different colors. Generally, you stencil light to dark, right? But again, they're all different colors, so cute, super pink eraser. Again, I never really clean this off, so it might reactivate ink that's on there already. So the pink you get might have some red tones, like a deeper tone, should I say. Okay, so let's go through this. I'm gonna go through all this area. I'll be right back. All right, cute. And that's water-based ink I'm using, so I'll rinse right off. The next one is the little kind of wooden area. I will say this one is so separate from the other piece. I'm still lining it up with this, but hopefully I'm lining it up correctly. You know, I'm still paying attention to the little corner etch marks, and hopefully that's good. But if it is difficult for you to kind of really make sure that's where you want it, I would say maybe go to this one next, because you can see where the eraser is very well. And then when you come in to do the other portion, number 2, you have a much better idea that you're exactly where you want to be, okay? Especially since they're different colors. We don't really need to build up light to dark, other than the very last one, the black little items there. Okay, so for this one, should be like brown. Did I even get, oh, I didn't even get a brush for that. I have this brown that's, I don't know. What I'm going to try to do is use it very lightly. So I'm just going to dip in here and kind of get most of it off and just go in and see it very, very, very lightly. I mean, I'm just barely touching the area. So I'll do that again, wipe some of it off. Because it's kind of a yellow brown, I thought it would be a good one for this, but super lightly, okay, guys? I'll be right back. Okay, again, between, you know, getting a little more, I was just kind of dabbing it off. So it's just the lightest little tan, kind of beigey brown. Okay, perfect. Now this is number 3. And again, you have much easier time of looking at that and lining that up and being sure you're where you need to be, because I can see the pink really well. And that looks really good. Maybe a little more this way. A little more this way. There we go. And I'm going to tape that down. And this one goes everywhere. It's a much bigger area that you're going to be inking up, so I just want to make sure my tape is way off the sides there. And this one's another toughie. I think I'm going to go with this marigold color, because I want it bright, but it's not really orange. It's more of like yellow orange. Ooh, I think that's going to work really well. Cute. Okay, so I'm going to go around the whole thing and color these little guys in. That's a lot of yellow in here. I'm going to try to use it up there. Get it off the plastic as much as I can there. There we go. And look how cute. Oh my gosh, they're coming out adorable. Okay, last one is the black accent, which would also have the lead. So number 4, again, following these kind of corners, but by the time we're here, follow the corners, but then you also can kind of mess with this to make sure you're really where you want that to be. Looks good, that looks good. This one, maybe a little more up like this. Yeah. This one has, it's all over, so yeah. And this guy, and then I'll get a sentiment, I'm thinking, from the stamp of the month. So I just stamp it, cut it out, and we're good to go. So just black ink and really push through there. I probably should use a brush one for this. I use a little pounce, a little pouncing kind of thing, and ink dauber, and I really have to push to get through everything. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So let's look at our little Dixon Ticonderogas here. So cute. Oh my goodness. Adorable. So I'm gonna go rinse these off and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm just gonna trim this down a little bit so I have a matte layer, which is what I prefer. I mean, you can cut this anywhere. You can cut, you know, I'm just gonna do 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So if you took a little bit off one side or a little bit off both sides, but since it's stencil, it doesn't really matter too much. I'll take a little off the top by 5 3/8. And I'm just gonna glue that right down to our card base. And I'll be right back. All right, super cute. And so I'm just gonna take the little sentiment to the best teacher. And so cute. Let's go ahead and stamp that, and then I'll use the die to go ahead and trim that out. Just too small. Yeah, a little too small. Alright, come on. It's almost stuck to something. Alright. And they are sticky, as you can see, when you first have a photopolymer set that you're trying out. You can just kind of rub on your stamp base to get that off. You can wipe it with some alcohol if you're not having a good impression, you know. I usually just go for it. So there you go. To give a little bit of a scrub, I suppose. Let's see how juicy that got, though. Cute. Definitely looks like just a cute little handwriting. So I am going to cut this out with the die. I just want to see how closely I can get without... Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Without making a guiding window. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to tape that down so they don't move. Or so it doesn't move. And, I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Oh my goodness. There we go. Hold that down. Go there. And here. And then I think I'm going to need to pop it up like a drop shadow. So I'll run it through this, and I'll probably also run just the die through some black paper to help that pop from the background, you know. And I'll be right back. Okay. Cute. I like the way, like, because of the die and the way it kind of carves into your paper, it looks really cute. And so let's see. That's adorable. I'm trying to see if I want to drop shadow it to the side or just down at the bottom like this. You know, I think that looks good. So, I'm gonna glue this guy to this, and I'll let that set up for a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, I actually went ahead and put some dimensionals in the back of that, and just deciding, cute, I think it'll look cute down here. Adorable. And do we want to add a little more yellow? I have these cute little things, so you know what, let's go ahead and add these too. Whoop. They're excited to come on out. All right, there we go. And you guys know I always do kind of like a set of 3, everything in 3s, just like boom, boom. And I usually like to mix up the sizes too. So a large one. Does this have large, medium, and small? It doesn't. Look, I can't tell. Where is my little tool? Here we go. Let's go ahead and put a large one here. Yeah, a large one there. And as soon as when Spellbinders puts out their sequins. There might be 3 sizes. Sometimes there's 2 sizes. I think this one has 2 sizes, it looks like. Okay. So I'm just getting a couple smaller ones to pop in here. And that will be that. Let me push this a little further out that way. Cute. Okay, guys, and there is our card. So we have the reveal for the month, and then again, I'll follow up in just a few days here with some more tutorials on the other club kits. So thanks for watching. Again, the links will be there in the description box for you. The images will be coming up for this little project, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.